So we have an urgent information coming out. Persia sends surviving nuclear scientists into hiding. New generation to take over work of more than 30 researchers taken out. But the Holy Land described them as dead man walking. All right, so very important nuclear scientists possibly in a bunker, hidden. And these are the scientists that could build nuclears. All right, and you guys know Donald sent the B-2 bombers and dropped the bunker busters. And at the same time, they took out some very important scientists that was building this nuke. But many of them survived. And a lot of them are being hidden. Possibly, like I said, underground bunkers. So we're going to see what's going on here, guys. Let me just read this part really quick. Persia has sent its surviving nuclear scientists into deep hiding after Holy Land taken out more than 30 researchers. Most are no longer living in their homes or teaching at universities and have been moved to secure locations in Tehran or northern coastal cities where they live in villas with their families, a senior Persian official said. Now, the Telegraph is the one putting out the information, has been shown the names of more than 15 of these surviving scientists on a list of about 100 held by Holy Land, whom the Holy Land say must now decide whether to continue their work and risk further strike or find a new career. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. It says here, most of them are no longer living in their houses. They are either moved to safe houses in Tehran or to the north, the Persian official said. Now, he added, those who were teaching at universities are replaced with people who have no connection with the nuclear program for safety reasons, basically. This is a big breaking news here. This is like the sum of all fears. I don't know if you guys seen that movie with Morgan Freeman and Ben Affleck. Very good movie from the early or late 90s when they had these scientists building the nuke, and they finally built one and they placed it in U.S. territory. So it says here, the move comes amid concern fueled by Holy Land briefings that further are in the offing and the execution by Persia of one of its own nuclear scientists this week. Now you have, I'm going to skip the name, had worked at one of the country's most sensitive and important nuclear sites and was, on Wednesday over allegation he had facilitated the assassin of his colleagues during the 12-day war in June by passing information to the Holy Land. Now, there's a lot of stuff here, guys, that I'm not going to say. Some very disturbing things here. The Holy Land experts say a new generation of Persian nuclear scientists now stand poised to take over the work of those already taken out and have described them as dead man walking. Despite the increased security that includes safe houses and round-the-clock protection. They say Persia structured its nuclear research program with each key player having at least one deputy working in pods of 2 to 3 to ensure redundancy in case of strikes. Whoops. There we go. So the Holy Land sources fear some of the surviving experts have replaced their colleagues at Persian nuclear weaponization program at the Organization of Defensive Innovation and Research, known by its Persian acronym SPND. Now, they are said to include scientists with expertise in explosives, neutron physics, and warhead design. It's not over. The Holy Land intelligence and defense analyst Ronan told the Telegraph the figures who remain have worked on adopting the Shahab 3 missile for nuclear warheads and are critical to Persia's ability to deploy nuclear equipment, while the eliminated scientists focus more on warhead design. The expertise in delivering system makes those who remain equally strategic targets for Holy Land, as Holy Land June 2025 strikes also targeted ballistic infrastructure. And according to the Holy Land intelligence, the knowledge that drives Persia's nuclear program is deeply embedded in the country, university, and academic system, leading to strike last month. Now, at this university and other university, both in Tehran and both associated with Persia military and nuclear programs. So they have these scientists somewhere being protected, and they still building the nukes. I mean, many were taken out. There was a lot taken out, but those that survived, yeah, possibly underground bunker. They got them somewhere in a cave. Who knows? And it's not over. They're gonna be building this thing, and I mean, there's a possibility they might get something in a few, possibly years. Persia has always denied running a nuclear program, claiming that its nuclear capability and expertise was for civilian use only. All right, so I guess it has nothing to do with nuclear or big mushrooms and stuff. It says here, much like Holy Land own nuclear program, which rely heavily on research conducted at sites, including the, I'm gonna skip that name, itself targeted by Persia in June. Persia's nuclear program is broad-based on the academic side, with much of the work having dual application. Now you have this person here, the former head of the Persian Strategic Desk in Holy Land Defense Intelligence, a branch of the Holy Land military, said the remaining Persian experts face a clear choice. They saw what happened to their buddies, their friends, their colleagues. And as we learned from 2010, when we eliminated the other experts, it's not changing their way of thinking in terms of their willingness to support the regime. The thing about these people is that they do this for their God. Again, they know that, they are being watched. They're doing it for, to possibly get some virgins on the other side, which I believe is all baloney. So those who are left will be at the forefront of any Persian attempt to reach a nuclear. Hence, they will automatically become targets for Holy Land, as Holy Land has shown in the past. I have no doubt about it. Any scientist that deals with the nuclear issue will be eliminated or will be threatened with elimination. Persia has raced to restructure its protection arrangement for scientists since the June War, with Holy Land, in which the sleeping giant the U.S. struck Persia nuclear facility with bunker buster, and Tehran hit back with missile strike at Holy Land. It wasn't a huge response, though. It wasn't a huge response, but everything kind of went down to a ceasefire, and now things have kind of eased down a little bit. Previously, a single Revolutionary Guard unit handled their security, but multiple agencies now coordinate protection due to trust concerns. The Persian official told the Telegraph Now, they were all asked if they still trust their bodyguards. Some said no, and were provided with new ones. Okay, so the takeout in June prompted widespread calls in Persia for increased protection of surviving experts and their loved ones, and calls to reverse officially stated policy and pursue a nuclear equipment. Now, the brother of Persia scientists taken out in Holy Land strike called for Persia to revise its nuclear doctrine to better protect its scientists. Now you have this person here speaking at a funeral for many victim of Holy Land June strike, said Persia should withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and reconsider its nuclear equipment's taboo. It says here, if Persia had the will to build nuclear, it would certainly have achieved it within 2 years. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's. I mean, they've been trying to build this thing since 2000, what, 17 or 18, and it's been like almost 10 years, and it just there was something wrong. You know, I mean, they should have achieved it years ago. But because the peaceful path was chosen, the enemy began successive assassination of scientists, commanders, and elites to stop scientific progress, he said. These individuals had no military activity, and their scientific projects were completely under the International Atomic Energy Agency, the supervision and within the framework of peaceful nuclear programs, he said. Now he called on the supreme leader and others to urgently revise policy for protecting the country's experts and researchers, saying it was time to move beyond slogans of death to the sleeping giant and death to the Holy Land and make fundamental decisions. His brother, university faculty member, was taken along with his loved ones in the Holy Land strikes. Once again, the victim included his young one, the daughter, 19, 17, and 8. Man. Basically, the Holy Land basically took all their generation. Wow, that's brutal. That is just brutal. Didn't took only him, took the entire generation. Wow. But it's not only the Holy Land. Donald will also be held responsible for this. And here's the thing, guys. You know, at the very end, God is the one that is in control. God is the one that, is going to, again, when the book of life opened, these world leaders, even Donald himself, there will be, question about their lead as leader of a nation. Right, because the Bible said that's a huge responsibility. That's a huge responsibility being the king of a nation. So, and also being a pastor too, the head of the church. That's something that is very important too. When you are, in a position of a throne, again, that's a really, really serious stuff there. For a throne, were meant for righteous. I mean, if you start messing up, if you start deceiving the church, if you are a wicked leader, man, whoa, it's not going to be good. Several prominent experts and researchers, many specializing in nuclear physics and radio, I'm going to skip that name, were also out. Man, there was a lot of important people. This person here emerged as one of Persia's leading figures in, I'm going to skip that name, development. Now, this person researched into medical application of nuclear energy and appeared on state television in 2022 discussing I'm going to skip that for, look at this. They even took out someone that was, when it comes to looking for a cure for this one here. Wow. there's a possibility this was more than just nuclear facility. I mean, they took out some others too. I mean, that had nothing to do with nuclear. Um, and here's the thing, guys. When it comes to finding, I've noticed that when it comes to finding a cure, I'm gonna spell the name for CANCER. Whenever it comes to finding a cure for that, I mean, man, it's like they don't want you to get a cure for it. They don't. They don't. And the reason why is because, again, these big companies, they make a lot of money. Oh, they make a lot of money. And when you try to bring some kind of remedy cure for that treatment, yeah, you basically stopping their money flow. I do believe there's a cure. I do believe there's a remedy for the CANCER. I do believe so. I do believe there's a cure. But it's only for those, the most powerful ones. They don't want to put out this cure for many of us because, again, it would just impact the flow of big companies, the pharmaceutical, and all them. It says here, colleagues compared his work to the assassin of the scientist in 2010. The strike targeted Persia academic and scientific infrastructure, degrading expertise built over decades in nuclear physics and other related fields. All right. This link here will be, I'm going to share in my Twitter page. But again, this is where we at right now. So you got some very important people are being hidden. All right. So those that survived. And they have their, task building this nuke or whatever they're trying to do. But Holy Land said, again, they're just dead man walking. It's just a matter of time, and they will be out too. But again, this is the big breaking news updates when it comes to Persia, nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Share the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.